You received a call from an inmate at the Department of Corrections. This call will be recorded and monitored.
Well, hello there, Miss Mills. It looks like you found your way back to the big house. Oh my goodness, a probation violation. Oh my goodness, we did everything we could to keep you out. I don't see what else we could have done. Oh. Well, you told me when you were in prison the first time that you were going to stay away from all those bad people that gave you bad influences and stuff, kind of clear the air. But it looks like you went and hung out with them again, and then you were in the wrong place at the wrong time with the wrong people. Yeah. Well, okay. All right, I'll give you that much. But, being young and pretty and people chasing after you, that's, that should be a strength, not a weakness. It shouldn't get you in trouble. Yeah, well, at least it's a reunion. You get to go hang out with the girls. No, I'm doing really well, and I've been working with some family members, and we've got some kids out there that are a little upset about their loved ones, parents, being in prison, but that goes with the territory. Your niece, huh? Oh my goodness. Well, you were locked away for quite a while, and she doesn't really get a chance to know you, and you get out, and then you go back again, and there's birthdays you're going to be missing, and weddings, and anniversaries, and yeah. I don't know. I want to make you feel guilty. That's why I'm talking to you like that. You've got to fix it so that you'll never go back to that place again. You got to want to stay away. Oh, okay, so you weren't thinking about prison when all of this happened. Well, yeah, and that's just it. I know it's tough being out here and minding the authorities and stuff, but it's just one of those things where you gotta, when you're in there's certain rules you have to follow, and then when you're working, there's certain rules you have to follow. It's just that, like the old saying goes, freedom isn't free. There's going to be high cost to claiming that phrase there. So if you want to make it work, you just gotta. And I'm sure one day, hopefully, if you can stay out of there, you'll get married and you'll have kids of your own, and you'd want them to listen to you. If you tell them stay away from drugs, or those people aren't good folks to hang around, or that's a good job, you should go to school, study. You'd want your children to listen to that kind of advice. And I think you would make a good mom, and I think you'd be a great mentor. It's just that you got to lead by example. And you served many, many years, and then you wind up...
You have 60 seconds remaining.
Going back in there again, and it's just a crying shame. But we're out here for you. We're going to do the best we can to keep you comfortable. It's just that I hope each and every day you think about that stuff that goes on in your life and the changes that you can make. And I hope you make the right decision, because it just isn't worth it to go through all of that.
You have 30 seconds remaining.
And then come out and go back again. No, I don't hate you, and I'm not disappointed in you. It's just that I want you to learn from this. We all make mistakes, and it happens. It's There's really not much we can do about it. Life is life. It's just that, remember, you got to work harder, especially harder than the average person out here. Okay, sweetie. Okay, there we go. When we go out and we help a loved one to get through the trials and tribulations of prison, and then this loved one gets out, we have big celebrations and parties and long conversations and going to places like movies and restaurants, catching up from missed days. And then the person goes back to prison. It's a very sad, sad moment. And it's not something everybody wishes for. But it happens. And that's just something that, like I was taught growing up, you hope for the best, but you plan for the worst case scenario out there. So, and when a person gets out, we'll throw some advice in there. And in Dirty's particular instance, we talked about hanging out with the wrong crowd. And she got out and she got into a relationship, and then she wound up getting burned. And I think it was mainly the love triangle. Now, Dirty is attracted to the same sex, and so she met a woman, and this woman was flirting with another woman, and this other woman decided she was going to get rid of the competition, and so she kind of led Dirty down the wrong path, and just and she's thinking that because of her naivety, that she's very easily persuaded by other people, and she just got caught up in the moment. And so it was just one of those things. And so I don't know what's going to happen now. I don't know if her heart's going to be broken because, her girlfriend and this other woman are together. I didn't really get a chance to get into that part of it. But it just kind of makes you wonder, because relationships are a part of everyday life. And there's a lot of folks that's locked up in prison because they trust somebody that they're with, and the person is just so hell-bent on committing this crime. They're not thinking about the feelings. It's more like, I'm a career criminal. I'm going to go out and break the law. In order to make this work, I need something to distract. And they may take a sweet, innocent woman and just lead her down the wrong path. I've seen a few cases where boyfriends would teach their girlfriends how to launder money, or how to steal people's identities or cash checks. And I don't know, I guess their eyes are so full of the love and the admiration and the trust that they don't see that kind of stuff. And that's not something you can really blame people for, because it could happen to anybody. You don't have to be a drug addict or an alcoholic or a career thief to fall prey to that kind of stuff. Usually it's the sweet, innocent people that are the ones that get caught up in it. And it's really a 50-50 situation out there. And I think in Dirty's case, she was originally arrested for drug possession anyway, and then with the change in the laws, she was able to get out. But she went on to probation, and even with the new laws and stuff, to stay clean, and you want to stick to the rules, and she just couldn't do it. She didn't get caught up in drugs again. She was just she stole a car, and so that's probation violation and a new crime. So it's just you kind of wonder. And there's only so much we can do out here. It's all up to the individual. And that's something we're just going to have to stress from now until the end of time. You have to make this decision on your own. You have to take advantage of the available resources. And one of the things I like to talk about in OxyWord, where I actually interview people in real time, ask, what about the available resources? And if they'll take advantage of some of the classes and some of the counseling and then come out and apply those out here, I think their chance of success, not returning, is even greater. So it's so the best we could do out here is just be supportive, just be there. I couldn't hold her by the hand and tell her not to fall victim to all of this, because she was comfortable with where she was, and she made a decision for the moment that she thought was best. And it turned out that she got misled and got burned in the end. So I'm hoping the best for her. She's still young. She's just 25, so she's got a long time to get her act together. And I believe in her. I think she can do this. And she's used to going in and out of prison. She's been doing it since she was a juvenile. So there's nothing new to her. But she was telling me that out here she's used to relying on friends, relying on family, trusting people. Because in the prison, they tell you when to get up, when to eat, when to go to the doctor. They provide her with all the stuff that she needs, and she doesn't really have to do too much thinking. But out here, it was too much of a stress for her. All of this freedom, what clothes to buy, what clothes to wear, where to hang out, who to talk to, and what she needed to better her circumstances, jobs and medical care, all that kind of stuff. So I will work with her, see if you can get her into some classes and stuff, plan for her next outing, and maybe call and check up on her a little bit more. She's one of the hard ones to reach. It's just more or less like it goes straight to voicemail, or it rings and rings and she doesn't answer because she doesn't want to talk to me. I might be able to convince her to stay a little more focused and to hang around people, because she's got a really good uncle, and her mother has turned her life around. So she does have some hope out there. So, there's no reason to give up on people. And she didn't really hurt anybody. She didn't pull out a gun, or she didn't hit anybody with a car or get drunk and kill anybody. So we can work with that. So we have to go with her on an individual basis, because what works for her is not necessarily going to work for some of the other folks that we work with. So it's going to be really, really nice having a captive audience. Now when I send her a letter or something, I think I'll have more of it'd be easier to reach her than when she was out here. Okay, so I got my work cut out for me. I just got to be there and give her some advice and guide her the best I can. And most importantly, I got to live that example. I'm not going to judge her. I'm not going to criticize her, because that's not what I would want done, and that's not what I want to teach her to teach other folks. So, have yourself a wonderful day and go out and make fantastic memories for tomorrow.